All right, so let's talk about Christian. This is why I wanted to play video games, because whenever I play games, it gives me the perfect opportunity to talk about all that drama and shit that we haven't talked about. So, Christian fucked his mom. I don't know anything beyond that. Well, someone in the chat said that the person who leaked that audio is apparently way worse. I don't care. All that's important is that Christian is a mom fucker. Wow, I suck ass. So, okay, a lot of you are probably new to the Christian thing. I want to see, like, show of hands. Okay, let's do a poll. How many of you have heard of Christian because of this news? How many of you have known about Christian forever now? Okay, the poll kind of sucks ass, but here you go. I'm starting a poll. How many of you know Christian before the mom stuff? I want you to vote. I want to seriously know how many of you have known about Christian since before the whole mom allegations and everything like that. Because I've known about Christian for about, holy shit, since maybe 2006 or 7. So, Christian is very, very old news. Of course, things have been very new now. Christian now goes by Christine Chandler. Okay, let's see the results since it's about to end. I known since about 2014. Okay, so a good majority of you have known about Christian for years. Now some of you just recently found out who Christian is, and some of you still don't know who Christian is. Okay, so to fill in the gaps for those who have either just learned about Christian or have never heard about Christian, essentially Christian is how do I put this? He's a very special individual who was known for creating these cringy comics known as Sonichu, the Sonichu Adventures and Christian Adventures, and they're very cringy, more so than other, cringy comics at the time. And this is like 2004, 2005. People found out that he has this OC that's basically just Sonic combined with Pikachu, and it's funny, haha, look at that. And he has a self-insert. Oh, it's like the ingredients for the perfect cringe comic. But it gets even worse when people found out that everything that Christian wrote was based on reality, right? So the villains were based off of real people that Christian knew. The love interest was based off of someone he knew about and had a crush on and knew on for years. I think her name was Megan. He's drawn several explicit drawings of his teacher, which is the main villain, getting pegged and fucked and constantly lusting for that dick. Not Christian's dick, just anybody's dick, because in his eyes, like, she's a slut. And then we also found out that he has, like, a drawing of him fingering Megan, his, like, childhood friend or college friend. I don't know how long he's known him. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to talk and play this game at the same time. But yeah, it's this culmination of horrible things. Plus, also, we found out that Christian was, beating the shit out of kids during, like, Pokemon card trade tournaments, trading card game tournaments. He has a very funny past. Christian, as a person, isn't funny though. I don't have any sympathy for Christian whatsoever, and there's a debate on whether or not you should consider Christian trans, as Chris now goes by Christine and uses she/her pronouns. I'll talk about that in a bit. But Christian does not have my sympathy or respect or anything whatsoever, because Christian has always been bigoted, racist, homophobic, transphobic, a stalker. Christian is not a good person whatsoever. And the fact that so many people are now finding out about Christian and being like, what? Shock Pikachu face? Christian fucks his mom? What? Whoa, who would have seen that coming from a horrible human being that is a literal racist, bigoted, homophobic, transphobic piece of shit? Who would have thought, right? Now, of course, this is a. I can't talk with this fucking game. I gotta choose something else because this is too much. Now, of course, with Christian, there are some complications with his individuality, as Christian is not a normal. Well, I wouldn't say normal because what is normal, anyways? Christian has several mental disabilities. Some I can't really diagnose myself because I'm not really familiar with his mental illnesses, but he clearly suffers from quite a lot. Uh, he has self. I forgot about to talk about like his quest, his lifelong quest to find a boyfriend-free girlfriend, which just means I guess a virgin girlfriend. Ultimately, while Christian does not deserve much sympathy, I don't think. I do still believe that Christian is a very tragic person. Relatively speaking, they could have had a very normal life if many of the circumstances that stood in their way didn't exist. So like Christian's mother and father are both horrible pieces of shit. I think his father was a massive racist, and the mother is huge hoarder. Dating a racist, I assume she's also a racist. In fact, she's such a bad hoarder that their house burnt down because of all the hoarding. So, and of course, with old boomers don't believe in mental illnesses. Like, that doesn't exist whatsoever to them. So when they saw Christian being Christian, they simply assumed that Christian was just an idiot and lazy, right? But they didn't see him as anything else other than that, which is, it's really sad. Like, I don't think we should play down how tragic Christian's life really is, but, the circumstances as they are, I will still not give him sympathy just because of, the things that Christian had to deal with. Now, of course, we have the whole debate as to whether or not Christian really is trans. You will have, and this is, look, I don't want to start a debate. I don't want to start a fight with anyone, but I also don't want to lessen the voice of other people, because I am currently confused, and I even have a friend who is trans who also knows about Christian and doesn't really know what to think about Christian at all, because it is a complicated issue. People say that Chris isn't really trans because in their eyes Christian is just a horrible representation of what transness and the trans identity is. Some people see it as him just being very fetishistic about being a woman, because I already talked about the love quest that Christian has had for his entire life, and so many think that this transitioning was done because he wants to self-identify as the one thing that he can't get, which is a woman. So in some ways it is just Christian wanting to relate or wanting to be something that he can't get, which is completely different from being trans. On the other side, however, there is the debate that she is trans, because you can't just cherry pick who you want in the trans community and who you don't want, because there will be awful trans people and there will be amazingly wonderful trans people, and you can't choose them. That's just how life is. And just because Christian does not fulfill the role that some of us might want in the trans community, that doesn't necessarily mean that she cannot be trans. So it's a very difficult debate, and I would really rather y'all be very respectful about this entire debate entirely. I am personally not sure myself. I can't. I honestly don't want to say that yes, Christian is just a male acting as a female just to fulfill some mental illness deep within himself or herself. I don't want to say that because I currently do not know how to feel about it. It's up to you guys. I still want you to be respectful. I don't want you to think Christian is a representative of the entire trans community. So, don't be a dirtbag. It's an interesting case. Yeah, I can't speak for the trans community. And that's why I don't want to say definitively that, yes, Christian is trans, or yes, Christian is not trans. It's not for me. I can't. But yeah, like I said, I've talked to my trans friends, and some of them say yes, not trans, but others have said I don't know, confusing. It's a weird case. It's so hard to really determine what Christian really is. And now that's the thing. Okay, so let's get back to the case at hand. I totally forgot to talk about the whole he fucked his mom. So as we all know, Barbara currently has dementia. Now, in the initial phone call that some of you have heard with Christian Chandler, if you don't, or Christine Chandler, sorry, if you don't know, she was talking to someone on the phone. According to her, she had fucked her mother consensually. She at least made it seem like it was consensual, but it was not, because Barbara has dementia. So Barbara cannot actually consensually accept sex because she doesn't know what she's doing, not at all. So in many ways, this is rape. Oh, I forgot to mention, Barb and the dad. I forgot the what's his name. I forgot his name. They're old. They were like very very old when they had Christian. Bob and Barb had Christian when they were like in their 50s, I think close to their 60s. And they're old as fuck. And when you are that old and having kids, your kids will probably not end up very healthy. Chris is 40. So 41? Oh, I thought Chris was 40. When Christian finally fucked her mother, she has dementia. She doesn't know what she's doing, so it's rape. Legally, yes. And also incest is very illegal in Virginia. Now, apparently in Virginia, incest is not illegal if you are female and you're fucking another female member. Yes, this is true. My good friend Raina told me about this. Apparently, having incest is illegal unless you are a woman fucking your mother or sister or cousin. I don't know why. No, fuck off. It's stupid. It's stupid. It is the dumbest, weirdest, like, fetishistic. What the fuck? Like, why? Why do you guys think whenever you go, like, on Pornhub, incest, like, with stepmom and stepsister is allowed, but there's literally almost no stepfather, stepbrother, incest? They're like, you know what? It's so fucking stupid. So that's why there's this debate of do we consider Christian female? Because if we do, that would mean Christian can go off almost scot-free. Not necessarily, because we'll talk about the other details of the crime later, but they can almost get off scot-free. But if they consider Christian as male, then he's going to jail. Christian, however, did something else, which was, I believe in some ways it was a I forgot what it was called, but it's something similar to like a restraining order. It's not necessarily a restraining order, but it's something similar to that. Essentially, Christian was not allowed to live with her mother under the same roof, under the same house, nowhere near. She's not allowed to have contact with her mother. They can't call her. You can't touch her. You also can't do anything related to Christian, to her mother at all. Christian's mom is, I think, like almost 75, almost 80, something like that. And so, yeah, Christian did another no-no, which was she stole, I'm not quite sure how much money, but it was like $500 to $700 from Barb's account. And she stayed at a hotel where she was arrested. So, yeah, that's about the saga. There's so much about Christian's. Oh, there's a Christian court appearance. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up that much, but that's initially what I know. That's what's been going on. It's a terrible thing, and it has no happy ending. This, although I will say, I'm pissed off about the whole Christian thing. Not just because, you know, Christian fucked her mother and other things that I can't even say, but because so many people on Twitter or anywhere were shocked about this, right? That's the thing that really pissed me off. It's that people were shocked that Christian did this. And I'm not saying, you know, this is normal for Christian. I mean, it kind of is. But for the longest time, people made Christian out to be like this mystical figure, you know? Like, oh yeah, Christian is just that quirky guy that made Sonichu. Isn't that weird and quirky? No! Christian is awful. An awful human being. And just because she's trans does not shield her from the fact that she's done some awful shit, and she still is an awful person. She's still a racist. She's still a homophobe. Like, despite the fact that she is trans, she's still homophobic. She's still transphobic in many ways. She's still a racist, a bigot. She's all these horrible things. And the fact that she fucked her mother, who has dementia. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, that should be, you know, par for the course. I mean, that's the least thing that I want to think about with Christian. But yeah, I mean, that's Christian. Christian would indeed fuck her mother. Just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, you know? I remember even seeing that Christian collaborated with this like one game company for their like their card game or whatever it was, and they were immediately like, okay, who wants to be the next artist? We're gonna replace Christian. And it's like, really? Why did you work with Christian in the first place? Are we seriously going to collab with Christian, a known problematic person, for our games? Oh, it's like, oh no, we have this Christian item that we collaborated with Christian for. What are we gonna do? We just found out they killed a kid or something. You know, it's like that's what pisses me off, is that people just don't know who Christian is. And yeah, they thought Chris was quirky. I don't want to talk about this anymore, because I really don't have any love for Christian whatsoever. I don't think he's quirky. I don't think she's a holy figure, or like some quirky internet meme that just made Sonichu. I know who Christian is. I know what they are. I know what they've done. It's so stupid that we're coming back to this discussion, even though it's existed for 15 years now. Whatever, man. I don't care. Let's go back to some lighter stuff. Look at these slimes. Wow.